Now we start from U.S. U.S. President Donald Trump has said in an interview that the United States is aiming for a fair trade deal with China. He has added that while Chinese tariffs has been a challenge, he believes the situation will be resolved and that current measures, including the 100% tariff, are not sustainable. President Trump has also mentioned that China is constantly looking for an edge in trade negotiations and that he will meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping in the coming weeks to discuss the way forward. President Trump has stressed that U.S. officials will continue monitoring developments and ensure American interests are protected. Now for this discussion, we're joined by Dr. Satoru Nagao. He's a fellow at Hudson Institute, joins us live from Tokyo. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us again. Now we know that China has many cards to play, including the recent news about the rare earths as well, limitations in rare earths as well. So what do you think, what are the cards that U.S. can play, President Trump can play in upcoming summit?
The tariff related to negotiation between the U.S. and China, indeed, originally it has started when President Trump was president at the first time, which is since 2016. So that's why in 2020, President Trump lost the election and 4 years gap is exists. So during that time, China has prepared this situation very much. And in this, what U.S. want to do and what U.S. can do, there is a gap. Even if to prepare the confrontation with China, the United States want to decouple with China. As a practical manner, it is not easy to do. So this is a long-term process, and the decoupling process is one by one, it has achieved indeed, but still the United States needs some time to achieve the goal they set up. And during that time, of course, China tried to retaliate against the United States, and China's dominant status in the global free trade market, supply chain or the providing rare earths, in these many cards China has, and China start to use it one by one. So that is the reason this tariff war has happened between the U.S. and China. The U.S. hasn't got enough level of the advantages in the negotiation because China prepared well. This is indeed very serious because 30% of the U.S. weapon use made in China parts, and including the rare earths indeed. So even if the confront with China, indeed the United States cannot make the weapon without supply chain of China. So that's why the U.S. need to do, want to do, but still U.S. needs a time to do.
Right, and what impact could this proposed upcoming meeting between President Xi and President Trump have on the current tariff standoff and broader economic tensions between these two countries? What do you think?
Because the United States needs a time, one time is to adjust a new situation between U.S. and China to decouple, or another situation is before the U.S. focusing on China, that they need to solve the issue in Europe and the Middle East. That's why the negotiation next time could be one kind of the extend ceasefire time more between U.S. and China. So that's why the view from the market, view from the other business related people, this is relatively good news. Still, the U.S.-China tariff war could be a little bit slow pace. But anyway, in the near future, it will escalate. That is a promise, I think. So that's why anyone in the world should or must adjust a new situation and prepare for the future.
With that, I would like to thank Dr. Satoru Nagao for joining us and sharing that insight. Now we move on to our next news. With the war